Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, August 24th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarification points. Number one, this price you see over here will be moving along with the candlestick right there. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. And I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement on video here. And the next, I'll be using a 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, INDO, monster move today and also has a very nice pattern. So as I draw on this pattern, let me be very clear. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that this is some sort of great skill or great discovery. The exact opposite. I assure you a lot of people out there have drawn this pattern in right there. So let me actually change this to green to represent the support part of the pattern. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns, wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. But when certain dynamics happen, following through with that, you can expect that much more buying pressure. So in this case, and again, no guarantees, but it's plausible to think that if the price can come up to that trend line and break up through it, that would be getting a bullish break of what is known as a bull pennant pattern. So again, no guarantees, but more than plausible to think that if the bull pennant gets a break to the upside, that break in and of itself could create that much more upside buying pressure. So if you like to play bull pennant patterns, then definitely keep a close eye on INDO. Next one, NEPT, and same general talking point in terms of self-fulfilling prophecies. So I assure you, a lot of people have taken notice of this level right up here at $3.25. You go through the history, you can see right here, rejected the price. Fast forward, once again this afternoon, rejected the price. So a lot of people are going to be watching that. Again, guarantees? No, but is it plausible to think that if the price can actually come back up to that level and then get the break up through it, that break could create good, solid upside momentum breakout potential? Absolutely. So if you like to play breakouts, then definitely keep a close eye on that. And you got to like the overall pattern here because sure, the price is pulling back right now as I speak during the last 30 minutes as this red candle forms. But from an overarching standpoint, you do still have an overall upwards trend line. So, some people may call this an ascending triangle, but the point here being is that you don't want to get bogged down in, okay, what's the name of the pattern? Just think about what's going on. There is an overall uptrend, and now there is a very well-defined area of resistance up here at $3.25. So if the price can get the break up through there, I think there could be some good solid fireworks. Next one, AMC, and the downtrend continues. Going to just get rid of these lines here as they've served their purpose. Getting hard to see here because, it's now just starting to get into kind of a slower bleed move. But the rough thing here is not necessarily that it was red, but because the price actually did do a good job the majority of the day of apparently leveling out there with a tight little range. But you can see this afternoon, volume has started to increase again, and the price is now actually broken back down below those lows. So overall, the downtrend and bleeding continues. And, just based on the nature of AMC in combination with APE, I think AMC is just going to continue to bleed and bleed as time goes on because AMC's management, well done. They're pulling some trickery here in terms of how they're doing things. So they're able to kind of beat up on AMC without saying they're going to beat up on AMC. So from strictly a fundamental standpoint, I don't think it's going to catch anybody off guard if you understand kind of how things are structured, that this thing continues to bleed further and further. But once more, there are no guarantees, and it is AMC, very popular stock. And sometimes things that make no sense at all end up happening and happening in big ways. That's why it's worth at least keeping a close eye on. So if there are any sort of, movements back to the upside, definitely the main dynamic here to watch is going to be that new trend line there, which puts that breakout point right up there around that $10 mark. So if you want to keep an eye on it and see if this thing all of a sudden snaps back for a quality bounce, I wouldn't blame you at all. Worth keeping at least an eye on. Next, AVYA. Beautiful looking chart here. Let me actually squeeze things down to offer up a bit more context so you can see that the price is up around levels that have not been seen for quite a while. And that is what brings about our first talking point. I probably should have put this on a different location because it's basically just like NEPT, meaning we have that self-fulfilling prophecy point, so we'll call it right up here at $1.20. So back here, you can see $1.20 was a problem, and then you fast forward to today, and a couple times, including the last 30 minutes, was a problem. But check this out. Last 30 minutes here, volume really coming in a big way. So sure, that doesn't guarantee anything, but does it make it that much more valid and plausible to think that maybe $1.20 is going to get tested again on Wednesday. Like I said, I think that's a more than plausible thought process to have. So certainly keep a close eye on $1.20. We'll zoom back in here now that you see where that level is coming from. As far as supports are concerned, I mean, very, very nice uptrend. And you could draw a trend line in place there if you want. Or I think the easier way to do it is just let the moving averages act as the trend line for you. So that purple line there, which just had the golden cross, but 50 period being the moving average, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, like I said, this is essentially going to be a quote-unquote trend line that draws itself for you. So from an overarching standpoint, as long as the price is above that purple line, as the line itself moves higher and higher, then the overall trend is fully bullish. But again, like I said, that $1.20 mark, I think a lot of eyeballs going to be watching that level. Next one, IMPP, and same general idea here. We have that self-fulfilling prophecy point right up there at 42.5 cents. You can see that once, twice, 3 times now the price has gotten up to that area and been rejected by it. Pretty big rejection right here. Not that the chart has collapsed or anything like that, but point here being that's going to be another one of those well-watched levels. And the minor, I don't know if it's a minor difference, but the other difference would be this is a penny stock. So if you do like to play penny stocks and you like to play these self-fulfilling prophecy type situations, then keep a close eye on that 42.5 cent mark. In terms of levels of support, actually down here right now at a very interesting level, and so far so good. It bounced right off that purple line. If the price does go down there and break through the purple line, next key level of support would be that pink line there, the 200 period moving average, currently valued at 38 cents. But yeah, I think the most interesting dynamic, and probably the dynamic more people are watching than not, is all about that 42.5 cent mark, and can the price get back up there and test it and then potentially break through it. Real quick, want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online event that I'm offering here in just a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used, and why it's so powerful in building consistency, then certainly get signed up for the free training. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying what you've seen, you want to learn more about the tool, then certainly get signed up for the free class. Next, HSDT, and what brings... Now, there's other interesting dynamics, but I think what will draw most people in is the fact that this candle here, huge explosion after, think about it. In fact, let's look at what the chart looked like before that candle happened. At that point, looking like maybe it was game over. The price had slightly been drifting downwards, and then out of nowhere, kaboom, that's where that candle showed up. So you got to think that has, reignited people's interest in the stock. So I'm going to go ahead and get this trend line drawn in place, which puts the breakout point right up there around 74, 75 cents moving into Wednesday. As far as levels of support are concerned, pretty straightforward here. You have a couple different areas you could look at. You could just use the pink line, which, as I've noted already, is the 200 period moving average valued at 63 cents. Or if you want to be a little bit more conservative and use this general area down here, that puts the level of support right down there at the 61 cent mark. But all in all, very, very nice explosion. Looking like the last 30 minutes here is just doing some consolidating, but we'll see if that's just a quick breath before potentially breaking up through there on Wednesday. Next one, NRDY. What a great ticker symbol for a company named NERDY. But and I didn't realize this until I'm doing it now, and I should have, but should have definitely just structured these because we have yet again, but there's just so many out these around the market today. But with these self-fulfilling prophecy breakouts where the price has gotten up to those previous areas and then once again had problems. So you can see right up here, $3.80 was a problem area there. Didn't hit it exactly, but certainly got within the general vicinity right there. And then today, again, general vicinity got up around 380. But the point here being is sometimes a little bit less, sometimes a little bit more, but generally speaking, right around the 380 mark, it seems as though the price just completely loses its momentum and can't quite maintain it. So continue to watch that if the price does recover back upwards. In terms of levels of pullback and support, then levels to keep a close eye on this one. Interesting right now, looking like maybe it's trying to bottom out, a couple of lower shadows down here. But if there is any sort of pullback that continues, then I definitely say a very, very important level that you'd want to see the price hold above is the pink line 200 period moving average, right now valued at 305. But yeah, again, like the other ones, I think the most interesting dynamic is can the price get back up to 380 and then break through it? So keep a close eye on it. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video, but tricky move today, no doubt about it. Price came down here, broke through the downwards part of that pattern, and then I suppose if you're some sort of scalper, there's a little bit of opportunity in there, but that, again, applies that you're some sort of day trading scalper from the short side, and then just said, nope, just kidding, and then snapped all the way back up here. So very, very impressive day for Tesla, especially, like I said, when you factor in that early on in the day, there was actually a bearish breakdown of that bear pennant pattern, but overall, got to give credit where credit's due. Very, very impressive move. And the main area of resistance headed into Wednesday going to be that pink line there, 200 period moving average, which right now valued at $894. And you can see that really struggled, not exactly at 894, but generally speaking, right around that area. So you're going to want to keep a close eye on the 894 mark. If the price does pull back some more, then next level of support that stands out to me, I think a lot of other people will be watching right down there around the $880 mark. You can see was a level of support here, was a level of support again today. So keep a close eye on that. But yeah, all in all, very, very impressive move on Tesla. And if you were playing this from the short side, a very cruel move that Tesla did to you. Next one here, NIO. And been a while since I've done this one, although not a whole lot that can be said because really the dynamic here that is in charge is this trend line right there. You can see that over the past several days, the trend line has done a fantastic job of forecasting where that momentum is going to just completely disappear. So we've had a couple instances where the price has slightly gotten above it, but again, a little bit below, a little bit above. Generally speaking, that trend line has, as long as the price is down below that level, then I would say that the bears are in full control. Now, that does not mean that there can't be nice bounces. I mean, here's a nice bounce. There's a nice bounce even today. To think that the price went all the way down there and then is all the way up there, there's a nice bounce. But I'm just saying, yes, even though there are nice bounces, I would remain very, very skeptical as long as the price is down below that red line. Because as of now, and as history has shown, all those bounces have just turned out to be dead cat bounces where the price is rolled back over. So I'm not saying that, the bounce here from today can't be the start of something bigger, because of course there are no guarantees that it's going to roll back over. I'm just saying that you don't want to get too overly excited, because you got to keep in mind recent history and the fact that this thing isn't a very much so a downwards trend right now. But overall, nice bounce there, which creates the next key level of support. And just to offer up more context, you can see been a long time since the price has been down around these levels, but next level of support, nothing fancier, just a question of where did the bleeding stop today. And that was down there at 1770, so keep an eye on that. But yeah, definitely a very clear and distinct downtrend. Next one, CEI, and let's just get this trend line in place, because this is a trend line I think a lot of people have drawn. I don't know if I'd call it a massive self-fulfilling prophecy trend line, but I don't know, maybe. I don't think that's, I think that level stands out to quite a few people, which does bring the breakout point to right up here around the 38-cent mark. So any sort of break to 38 cents essentially implies that trend line has been broken. So if you do like to play breakouts, then keep a close eye on that. But what another very interesting dynamic on this one is how the price really, really seems to be respecting down here around that 35-cent mark. So you can see what I mean. So you go back here, and again, generally speaking, held strong, held. You get the idea. So there's a couple of very well-defined levels. Well, I take that back. I would definitely consider 35 cents very, very well-defined. Is that trend line very well-defined? I won't say very well. Let's just call it's defined, and you got to think a lot of people are watching it. But like I said, if you do like to play penny stocks and you're looking for those charts that have some defined areas that you think that there could be some self-fulfilling prophecy dynamics around them, then CEI certainly fits that bill. So that wraps up the top 10. If you enjoyed the video and you want to learn more about this, how it can be used and how the charts should be used, and like I said earlier, certainly get signed up for this free training. Be on Thursday, August 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make these videos, then please help me out with two easy things. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment. Those two things go a long way in communicating to me that you enjoy. As long as I know people are enjoying, I'll continue to make the videos. So again, get signed up for that free training. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Have a good one.